Okay, now for people that are see you for the first time, perhaps they don't really know who you are. Can you like do a little introduction? How do you present yourself?
Okay, my name is Emmanuel Obadaki. I'm a sales representative to Metropolitan Motors Toyota currently, and Metropolitan Motors is one of the accredited dealers to Toyota Japan. So we are under the umbrella of Toyota Nigeria Limited. Okay, so I function as a sales rep in the spare part department. Okay, so we run the 3X at Metropolitan Motors. We run the sales of Toyota, we run the service, which is the workshop, and we run the spare parts department, which I belong. That is my department.
Hello and welcome to Obehi Podcast. I'm your host, Obehi A14, and I strongly believe that everyone has a story to share. Now let's get started with this episode. But I think people would like to also know who you are as an individual. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Were you born in Lagos?
Well, yes, I was born in Lagos, brought up in Lagos. Over 70% so far of my life in Lagos. I was born in Lagos in the suburb of Agege local government, and I schooled as well at Agege, both primary, secondary, and tertiary. By grace, I've been privileged to step out of Lagos as well. Not that but at least I've been to few places as a one-time labor union workers under the Steel and Engineering Union Workers of Nigeria. I was then their secretary for 9 years, and that was under the company called Hosepipe Mill. Hosepipe Mill. It's a group of companies, the TOA group. Okay, so from there I moved on. I run then for the election, and I was privileged to be elected. Thereafter, I decided to change profession, having been a tube mill engineer in a rolling mill. That was one of my challenging parts. It wasn't easy. I often like going out and doing meeting people. So I had to switch the gear coming into the sales line more. So that was a little challenging because it took like 2 to 3 years. I was actually doing work with Hosepipe that I mentioned earlier, and was doing a free service at every annual leave that I had. I was running a free service which we call voluntary service to companies vis-a-vis the Remida, the now IPMI, the Institute of Productivity Management. Then it was Software Work Consult alongside with Steve Harris, alongside with Fela Drutoye when he started the so-called, then it was Speaker's Corner, then that was when the initiative of this thing came up, Gemstone came up and the likes. So from there, I kept on running till I happens to be a sales rep for Lone Western Company. From there, I migrated to ARM Insurance. And now I'm doing well at Metropolitan Motors, Toyota Nigeria.
You really look quite young, and you already have a lot of experiences in the area of business and that. Or maybe I'm the one that is just reading wrongly. Is it correct?
Well, I've heard that from people saying, guy, you don't want to grow old. Well, it is a grace. It is a grace.
All right. So you have always eyed business, or is it something that you stumble on along the way? Is it something that you have always loved since when you were a young boy?
Okay, I will answer you this way. Like I said initially before the break in transmission, I wasn't privileged to attend the 4 Wall schools. So after my secondary school, I went into factory. I was working as a factory boy. So I saw a lot of our people. So I took it as a challenge that I won't remain in this condition. I won't take this. So as at that time, every weekend, I must find a motivational program to attend. And that was what brought me to the likes of the people I mentioned earlier. And from there, I started planning my way, attended a part-time programs like that, and was given a free service by privilege to the above mentioned people, the people I mentioned initially. So that was how it started. And I decided to say, look, if I actually want the life I designed for myself, not in this circle, then I'd have to step out. So I started as a business admin student at the Lagos City Polytechnic, and from there, it turns up to this moment.
This podcast is actually about people, about the personality behind what they do. No, it's not just the certificate that you have that we are interested in. It's not just the title that you have in the job. It's you, the individual, the person, your journey. This is how people also are able to connect with you, because you are in a journey. We are trying to concentrate on the individual. That is why we are really asking this kind of question. So when you started this training school in Polytechnic in Lagos, what was your kind of focus point? What was encouraging you now that you realized that you wanted to pursue something different for the ordinary? Because a lot of people, of course, are comfortable be the ordinary in that they remain there. Of course, as ordinary, I mean, maybe you have gone to school, or maybe you didn't go to school. There are some chances around you that maybe you want to become a mechanic or you want to become a professor. You can basically become whatever the society offer you. But there is another thing, which is you can choose to be what you want to be. You know, it's a different ball game altogether. So when you find out that you wanted to do this, what was kind of motivating you, engineering you as you get into the Polytechnic?
Okay. Even before I got into the Polytechnic, the truth still remains that I saw people who had been into the factory, or probably I met there working there for years, and I looked at it that this person will still probably still praying for a change of story, and obviously they have potentials, doing very well, but poorly managed by the leaders. And first of all, that motivated me to go into the union, seeing how I could use uh, my energy to get them some certain benefits and rights. So I discovered it cannot end here. Otherwise, I would just be a mere raburizer and just talking without any basic action. So I decided to enroll to school. So while I was in school, I got exposed more. I could balance some arguments. I was at every point of negotiation. I come before the management, and we're able to iron out some things. And also, I have this little part that seems a little political about me. I want to see the people placed under me doing well. Nevertheless, the company is not meant to give a free money. You are to work, but while you are working, the company also needs to pay you back. So going back to school, within me, I know I have to give a feedback to my company, to the people that is actually pushing me, to the headmen that have been there for like 10 years, no promotion, no transfer, no leave. They've been there. The environment so bad. There is no basic amenities. We see workplace politics here and there. So the only way I could make a difference is to step out. So that led me, or probably was one of my basic energy while I was in school, and also when I was through, by the grace of God, it was to a reasonable extent evident in the life of as many that were with us then, that were in the company. And from there, then I stepped out of the company, and I still have I'm still in touch with some of them, still ask how far are they doing, how far so far concerning their academics, those who are connected to LinkedIn, or those who doesn't know about LinkedIn, expose yourself. this same capacity or potential as you have can actually expose you. So do something beyond the entry level you got into this place.
Thank you very much for that. In fact, I'm going to ask you the last question here before we move into the Nigeria Automobile, because that is actually where you are in at the moment, no?
Okay,
Because
sir.
of course you passed through different roads before you got there, and now that is a very attractive sector in the Nigerian economy and of course the Nigerian society. So I'm going to ask you a few questions there. But before we get there, I'm wondering if you will have a kind of a message to people who were born in Nigeria, who are within the Nigeria cycle, who probably haven't taken a step that you have taken on. Because, naturally, maybe you are born in a family that they were to do, because they will send you to school and make you pass through the setup, no? So that then you'll be able to find your footing in the society. But in most of the cases, like yours, like also in many other situations, you don't have this luxury, but you just have to create your road yourself. I know Nigeria is hard. We have a very tough situation, but you are not going to wait for any person. So I wonder if you have a message to maybe young Nigeria who might be listening to you just now.
Sure. A very simple message to them is select your friends. Select your friends. I will use a quote of my dear uncle and brother, Fela Dutuyi. Fela Dutuyi has a popular quote that goes thus: "Don't let your background keep your back on the ground." Okay, on no account must your background keep your back on the ground. The truth remains that I was born in a single room. We were 7, my father, my mother, and 5 of us. And I had every reason to remain where I was. But it just can't work because the kinds of friends I keep, or probably I kept as at then, and not intentionally at first. But later when I discovered that, okay, parental assistance also has to do with it. I must not see you with the YDS, I must not see you with so person. This is who, these are the things to do. And then when I became of age, I also, on my own, now take an intentional living, select my friends every weekend. Like I told you initially, I choose programs to go, motivational programs, some paid for, some free, just because I want to align myself with those that matters. And again, I will tell you one thing. Out there, something good is not free. You must pay your price. So whatever it's with will cost you, like any Nigerian, any younger folks listening to me, pay your price to wherever. Nothing is free. Even in Freetown, there is no free food. If you take a free lunch, you pay for someone coming behind you. So how do you do that? Is to ensure that you will equip yourself, particularly these days that we have everything on social media. There are courses to do, even if you cannot. There are free services to render. That is one thing I want to say, Mr. Obehi. A lot of us don't know that there is this potential in running a voluntary service. You can actually apply it. I did to Remi Dairu, Apostle of Productivity. I applied that every of my annual leave, which is 1 month and a week, that is 5 weeks, to always come and run errand for his company, then Software World Consult. So I was doing that. So I was getting myself acclimatized to office works and how some certain things, how to do photocopy, how to do some typing, so as I was running, in fact, I was the one that registered the School of Productivity there. Through him, I went to the Lagos State Ministry of Poverty and Alleviation and the likes, where I was submitting proposal on his behalf. And it was as free as it was, though I was learning. So one can equally go to a barbing salon. I want to learn this skill. A motor mechanic department. Without your mother, without your father, anybody can stand there at a shorty. Okay, I remember in one of the programs I ran a few years ago, I went to his sister and said, "Ma, please, can you sponsor this program?" It was a peace work program towards 2015 election. She said, I don't have choice. She spoke in a native language. I will try and interpret it. She said, if you had called me for a problem, of course, I won't deny you, I will reply. But now you are calling me for something worthwhile. Why do I deny you? So she came out and sponsored all the clothes, the letter to the DPUs. She sponsored everything, the security and what have you. So naturally, not only in Nigeria, everywhere all over the world, there are reasons for you to just just stay where you are, that comfort zone. You need to just challenge yourself and make things different. Just do one different thing that your name, your children will say, Daddy, well done. Not about the cars, not about the houses, but the mindset that you can't remain in this spot. You just have to keep on moving. And that is the evidence of your living.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. That is really very important. When you look at Nigeria today, looking at the circumstances of the country, of course, we can say all we can to blame the system, to blame the government and all that, but we shouldn't forget that the government or the country as it were, as a living entity, is made up of the people. Of course, the government is part of it, but if the people do not play their part, there is no way the government can play their part. Also because the government is just a product of the society. If the society were to change, the government itself would change. So I really do believe what you're saying. I really take it seriously that whatever you want in life, you must pay the price. That is nothing free. If it is free, it really have no value, because the only thing, of course, not only that it doesn't have any value, but it remains on the standard. Like, for example, breathing air. You don't need to pay for anything to breathe in air, no? Because it is free. That is also an evidence that nature has given us all the providences to be able to succeed in life if we want to. But of course, if what you want is just to be alive, yeah, you still have the possibility to just be alive. But it means you're not going to amount to anything ordinary, the bird also fly now. You see, the lion, they're also in the forest. Nothing is really going to happen to them. They are going to be alive. If that is what you want. But if you want to amount to something substantial, to something important, then you are going to pay the price, because there is a price for it. All right, now let's move to the job that you are currently in as a sales manager, as a sales expert. So tell us something about this job. What do you like about it?
Well, Mr. Obehi, I don't know when you actually moved into Italy, but nevertheless, I know you have the Lagos experience very well. There are a lot of things that I see on the road of Lagos that are in most cases preventive, but wasn't given attention. A lot of car breakdown, a lot of, though the road is bad, but we can't keep making noise over what is not working. We need to get things working for ourselves. So I was actually encouraged to see how I could also provide solution to the consistent and the incessant vehicle breaking down on the road, which I discovered that there are basic things that do happen. We are too much in a hurry never to do the due diligence on our vehicles before stepping out. We don't. We also try to cut corners on some basic things. Ikeda can get me a refurbished part somewhere, somebody, which one is cheaper? Let me just get. Much as you are trying to play smart, it will also turn back at you. And it might be at a disgraceful point where you never expected. Perhaps you are in a hurry to catch up on appointments or what have you. So this and lots more encouraged me to do what I'm doing now. I was happy when I was eventually called up to pick up my appointment letter.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. You see, I was saying before that the automobile is something that is very interesting in the Nigerian industry, in the Nigerian economy, as it were done. And now, Lagos is particularly interesting, looking at the complexity of the Lagos state road and the transit system, the movement and all that. Anyway, we're not really going to go into that just now. So how is the market?
Okay.
How is the sales situation in Nigeria in terms of what you represent of your sector?
Without hiding words on the truth of the matter is sales generally, I do know some sectors have been badly affected by the COVID-19, but nevertheless, it has also showed us a way forward on how to better handle things compared to the way we used to. So far, so good. We are getting better. We understand, and the management team equally understand that this is business. For now, we are still juggling, trying to keep our feet balanced. Sales is coming in. We are doing well, not too pretty well as it were, but at least we are still keeping fine.
You did make mention of the fact that sales has dropped this period, no? Which is something actually global because of the situation of COVID-19 and the rest of it. So I would say if someone were to project, somebody were to invest in the Nigerian automobile industry, what kind of chance do we even have? Looking at also the complexity of the Lagos market. Let's look at it like that, because you are the one in the market. You are the one to tell us what opportunity are there in the Nigerian auto industry. Looking at Lagos as an example.
Wow, enormous. There are a lot of opportunities in the automobile industry, particularly in Lagos. For now, I think what is really just needed for now is some coordinations. Okay. So what is needed for now is just little coordinations. There are a lot of opportunities in the automobile industry in Lagos, in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos. We actually have a lot of people doing very well. For new investors, of course, the sky is the limit. All through every looks and cranny of Lagos, you see service centers here and there. You see spare parts dealers doing their own business. So we have a very huge market in Lagos when it comes to automobiles, and we are doing very well.
Now, in terms of the cars that are coming in, because I understand that, okay, probably we might not need to go there, but of course, if you choose to, it's fine because it's part of the automobile industry. In terms of the Nigeria automobile industry, I'm talking of the locally made, whether assembled or fully made. Of course, cars really are not fully made in any particular country, because car is a component made up of thousands of different things inside. So you just are not expert in all of them. You must need something from somewhere, whether the tire, whether is the mechanic, whether is the electronics, whether is the sewing, the packing, the painting. So we all need one another to be able to do it at the end of the day. So in terms of the cars that are entering into Nigeria, which really are these cars that we have today that run in the Nigerian road? Which are the dominant in the market? Tell us about that.
When you talk about the dominant in the market, you are talking about Toyota. You are talking about Toyota. Yeah.
All right. So tell us more about that. Is Toyota is dominant in what sense? Because they are the numerous, or tell us something. Give us some figures.
Okay. Currently in the streets of Lagos, even before now, you see before you the count of 2 or 3 other brands of cars. You count like 10 Toyotas. And basically because they have also factored out the road network of Nigeria, particularly Lagos or Africa, so to speak, into their system. So they have this rugged, their vehicles are made to actually accommodate to tough areas like. So just tell us what you want. Toyota is giving that. I can assure you that. And so far, so good. Considering the roughness of some areas in Lagos, the only vehicle, so to speak, of which even when you Google it, you see it, it is Toyota that has been able to meet up with it. At least with your regular maintenance, you can go 16 to 20 years using Toyota comfortably, regardless of how interior or how bad the road is. So they considered the roughness of your area, and they made their vehicles with standard. Aside from that, they made their parts very much accessible and available, and they have dealers. They've shown strength, and they are still showing the strength, and that is why they are the major in the market of automobiles in Lagos and Nigeria, particularly in Africa.
All right. Now, what about the cost in terms of in comparison to other model in Nigeria? Because we also have the BMW, we have the General Motors. Of course, all of them are interested in the African market because African market is relatively young. In fact, it's very vibrant at its way, no? Because the road are not there yet. So Africa is actually the future in terms of global market, whether you're talking of technology, automobile, infotech, all of them. So tell me, in terms of the cost, in terms of the money, how is Toyota compared to other companies that are supply cars to Nigeria?
Well, with due respect, they are doing very well. I don't want to mention names, but Toyota, I think I give it to them because they've actually factored in a lot of things. It is reasonably pocket friendly. The spare parts are equally pocket friendly. It now depends on what you want. You make your choice, and if you want it all rosy and what is it called? Luxury. If you want the complete luxurious Toyota vehicle, you know the type you go in for. But if you also want the all-round rugged Toyota vehicle, you know what you're going for. Good of you. So all of these Toyota had put in place to ensure that whatever is your taste, your class, your pocket size, Toyota is available for you.
All right. Now let's look at the Nigerian terrain a little bit now. In that we, at the end of the day, we are looking for a situation where the cars that are made in Nigeria should be ambiented in Nigeria, in that it should be according to the temperature, according to the climate, according to the road, to the rigidity of the Nigerian system, that it should be able to survive the reality of the Nigerian situation, the road, of course, included. If that is the way, what kind of road would you suggest? What kind of cars, model of Toyota would you recommend for a family on the regular usage?
Okay, the Toyota Camry is very, very good. Rugged for a family on a regular usage. The Sienna series also very, very good. And it's a little tough for me to segregate. I can tell you this, it's a little tough for me. It is just that whatever you want, Toyota, even in the luxurious high class levels of Toyota, it is still built to handle whatever the situation of the road, the climate, or whatever the things you have mentioned. It is built to handle those necessities.
And you didn't even make mention of maybe a cost somebody could have in the mind of what it would be to be able to acquire a car. Okay, I'm not telling you to tell me exactly how much you are selling, but in the market, what is the selling price? Somebody want to get a car, for example, in Nigeria. What is the selling price so that we can use that one as a basis to look at another producer in another supplier in the Nigerian market? Tell me about that.
Okay, selling price is relative. Selling price is relative. It all depends on how you are able to get your own vehicles, the cost, the overhead cost, and the likes. But on the average, let's look at a bus, for instance, a 2019 hires, you should be thinking about 19 to 18 million naira, something within that range. And like again, I will still go back to what I said initially, that price is relative. I would want to say something that will be quoted here, but the truth is price is relative, and whatever is your own size per time, you can always get from Toyota.
All right, thank you for that. Yeah, I know the price is relative. That is true. You are a sales expert, so you are basically speaking from your angle, which is correct. There is no price that is just it. All right, now on the question of the pricing, that is really very important. I remember recently, actually, it was last month we talked about pricing in Nigeria. So because there is a program that I follow with a university lecturer there in Nigeria on the issue of food. But food for us is very important in the food security, food distribution, and the sales is very important for us. So you were saying that somebody called you in the night or in the day or whatever. There is a kind of a standard of which for which you are
Mm,
selling. I don't know if you want to
yes.
tell me something more about that relating to the pricing in the market, in relating to how do you determine what is actually the fair price in a way that the
Okay.
consumer is not cheated? Tell me about that.
Okay. Before a consumer will walk up to you that he wants to get a car, definitely he has a broad knowledge of what it takes. Or probably might have even got it to some few places. For now, one basic determinant is the forest. So when there are imbalances or inconsistencies in our forest uh, exchange and the likes, it affects prices. But we are saying when all things being equal, there is no basis to take advantage of the next person because there is allocation. I'm comparing it with your analysis in those from where you're coming from, hospitality, uh, the hotels and the likes. You can actually look at, oh, there are too many people. How do we reduce traffic? How do we do this and that? Okay, unless the highest bidder comes in or what have you. But unlike this, we are very sensitive. We are very sensitive. We understand that coughing out a specific amount at a time like this is not a joke. And if there is no basis to make increments, there is no basis. If we order, let's say, 3,000 advances into our company for instance, at a specific rate, and before it lands, the rate of dollar has increased on several locations, and by the time we make our what is it called calculation, the MD can just say, okay, this is how it goes, and that remains it till we get the next batch. Okay, so that is exactly what I'm trying to say.
All right, Mr. Emmanuel, I
I
want
hope
to
I
believe.
passed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Was I
yeah.
able
It's
to pass? Okay.
it's fine. I want to believe that people are in business so that they can make profit. When we look at the business in Africa, looking at African market, sometimes people even over make profit, no, either because there are no regulations,
That is it.
or maybe the regulations are rather porous. They are not really clear enough on how much you
That is
can
it.
make. So that is from the point of view I'm trying to understand it. No, I'm not even going to explain
Okay.
the
Okay.
tourism industry where I have worked now in the hotel, and because there are also rules there. Anyway, let's leave that aside. Let's look concentrate on the
Okay.
Nigerian market now, and the cost and the pricing regulation. So, you mean that because this period now, this is December now, so
Okay.
is the price that you are selling in December the same as you are selling in February, in April? What things really are conditioning the change in this price, if there is any change? And on what percentage are these changing? Is it like you buy it 20, you can only sell it up to like 50, or you can sell it, you can put the price that you want? I want to see what is regulating the price there in Nigeria.
Well, the Nigerian market is very unique, very, very unique. But one thing I can say, to some extent, I will only touch what your question partially because the major angle of it is left to my boss and the likes of them. What goes into the final conclusion, I might not have the right to dive into that. But one basic thing I would tell you is that Metropolitan Motors Nigeria Limited has a standard, and I still want to emphasize on that standard. Is like you rightly said, we are in business to make profit, but in very many cases, the blacks, Africa in questions, wants to bite off more than necessary. Don't forget, I can only take advantage of you for once. Right? So if you patronize me and you discover that the vehicle you bought from me is exorbitantly or crazily very high like that, no problem. I will clap for you. You have tried. But when next I want to, will I come to you? No. So the truth remains that there are reasonability in how you place your pricing, such that not only are you having the person as a customer, but you are bringing them in as a family. Recently, I was making a call, an after-sales call to some of our clients we've not seen in a while, and one of them told me something very profound, and I was very happy. He said, "Hello, ma, this is Emmanuel Obadaki. I'm calling you from Metropolitan Motors. How far? How are you doing?" She said, "Fine." So we noticed we've not been coming around in a while. He said, "I traveled. Metropolitan Motors is my home. Is my home." Those choice of words weigh a lot in my spirit. So it's my home. Anytime we are buying any cars, even if you want to have any eyes into other brand, we will always call or come and say, "Okay, what do we do?" This and that. I was happy. So that is beyond the nominal customer service. No, it goes beyond just let me get the money in your pocket and bye-bye. No, we know you pass through a lot of companies before getting to us. So we must have a standard beyond that, also giving you a taste of bringing you into our family, checking on you, try to know how far so far. Hope you are not having any regrets. We also work in between the agreement and ensure that you are enjoying it.
All right, thank you very much for that. I'm not going to take the argument further than that when it comes to price. It's okay. That is fair enough. So I want you to respond to your part. Though maybe if I were interviewed your boss, there are some things I would have asked related to this, but it's okay. Let's leave it like that. Everybody can be happy and go home. All right. Now, Toyota, I think I've been in Nigeria since the year 1965, if I'm not mistaken. So can you tell us a little bit, why is it that this company have a high presence in Nigeria? Because I think the Nigerian police also use it. Basically, the Nigerian government use a lot of car from Toyota. So tell us a little bit the history of Toyota in Nigeria, the one that you know. Okay, please go.
Okay, like you rightly said, it's all about a company having you in mind, a product having you in mind, a product bringing you in as a family. Okay, we understand this is where the country Nigeria or Africa is for now. We are designing products that will be able to accommodate all the hitches for now. So as you progress, we'll also modify. And that is one thing Toyota have been doing very well. Toyota look into, even economically, they look into the pocket of people. Okay, what parts can easily work for other cars that you don't have to. So can part of Avensis work for what is it called? Camry? Can this work for this? Can this one be substitutable for this? And that is one basic features that Toyota have been doing. And I won't blame Nigerian government to a reasonable extent, because they have found that fairness in Toyota. Okay, they are probably doing very well and putting us into consideration in every of their products.
Now, what is your company specifically in this distribution of Toyota products in Nigeria? I remember you did make mention of that, but I don't know if you can sort of refresh our memory on that. Is it in the I know that there are some plants in Nigeria for example, that is the Peugeot assembly plant in Nigeria. I don't know if Toyota also has something like that, because since they have been there since like 1965, something like that. Tell me about their presence in Nigeria, really.
Okay, Toyota Japan has a representative in Nigeria called Toyota Nigeria Limited, TNL. Okay, so under that we have registered accredited dealers, which Metropolitan Motors is one of them. We have the likes of Elizade, we have the likes of Kojo, Mandelas, and what have you. So we are that like 8 representative of Toyota in Nigeria. And the dealers worked. Toyota Nigeria Limited works through the dealers. So the dealership are the people that comes off. They don't sell to anybody directly. They do this through the dealership, and that is how it's been running.
All right, thanks for that. Now, this dealer, I want to believe that they are the representative of the Nigerian markets, in that they
Yes.
are the one that are really telling the Toyota company, because Toyota is from Japan, it's not a Nigerian company. But of
Yes.
course, the dealer, I know they are there to make money, no doubt about that. But from a cultural point of view, they also want to protect their customer, because the customers are Nigeria. They are the one that are spending the money. In terms of custom, in terms of pride, in terms of developing the local automobile industry, is there any move? Is there even any intention to have cars designed according to the Nigerian taste? Maybe design in Nigeria, employ the Nigerian people, so that at the end of the day, we can have Nigerian made, but maybe it's a Toyota, but this is made in Nigeria.
Yes. In the last symposium that was put together by TNL, a similar thing like this was raised. And as I speak with you, we have such a thing running. We have technical departments, we have people that comes for IT, we have things running. And for now, I will tell you that it's a step part-time. But the way we are now, we are equally bringing in people. We have technicians, trained manpowers that also have this technological know-how on all of this part. So for now, we are taking it step after the other.
All right, fine. You need to be step after the other. And again, I'm not going to push you too much on that. You are a sales expert. You are not the boss of this, of the whole setup, no? But it doesn't matter. We are Nigeria. We should say what we feel about it, and that is why we are here also. Now, in terms of this doing one thing at a time, what really is the intention? Is it like maybe send some people to Japan to learn this technology and then bring them back to design the product in Nigeria? What really is the bargain? What are you asking for? What are you asking the Toyota to do?
Okay. Again, like you rightly said, I have few or very little thing to say about that. But one thing is certain, that Toyota Nigeria Limited have an award for all best and up and doing dealers that are representing Nigeria at Japan. And not just representing, but they are equally gaining more and additional knowledge on how to serve the Nigerian market better, technologically wise, and also come in and train other technicians too. So to a very good extent, this is equally extending the knowledge of technology in Nigeria. So to the greater part of it, like you have mentioned, is at the table of the management team.
All right. Okay, I ask you as a Nigerian, no, because I know we have the same passion for our country, no. So in terms of producing our cars, not one car, producing different brands of cars in Nigeria, what do you think is lacking?
Without any sentiment about it, it's all about our leaders. This time around, we have to be frank, because your choice of words is consistent. Let's talk as a Nigerian. So it's all about the leaders creating the environment. A lot of our people with technicality and sound intentions are no longer in the country. Take for instance the medical sector. A lot of them are finding their way out. So it goes beyond just talking. If the political goodwill is not there, it will just be a mere talk without actions. We cannot say that so far with our years of independence that we cannot push this, or probably we are not more than qualified to have a Nigerian-made vehicle. Of course, we have a lot of technicians doing wonderfully well that can be put from all sorts of streams in Nigeria to do this. Although we know of the Innocent Motors and the likes of them, it's all about the goodwill of our leaders. So that for now, I want to pen that before the politics in me comes up. But
All right.
it is
The
well.
politics is something that you cannot avoid, no? I don't know why many people don't want to talk about politics. I know that it means putting your face out there, talking about it, but it's real too. It is our part. We cannot hide from it.
No, not really. I have nothing. I have nothing I'm afraid of. It's just the concern of being misunderstood. That is just it. Otherwise, I've told you the truth, and I'm telling the whole of the world at this point in time that Nigeria has everything it's required to be whatever. If I had to come into the first world, but it is all about the goodwill. All about. If by now we cannot produce toothpick on our own, if by now there are a lot of things we cannot produce, if by now you are shutting down borders, okay, for rice and the likes, when you cannot even produce, please let us just, it is just well. It is just well. We have a lot of things to do.
All right. This is why we are here, Emmanuel. We are here to talk about things that concerns us. And this particular issue concerns us. So let's take it a little bit further.
Okay, no problem.
Now, in terms of the technicality, what do we really need to produce a car? Because like we were saying before, I live in Italy. Italy produces different cars, no? Go to Germany, they are very good in it, no? We know of the German cars, no? BMW, just to name one. You go to France, it's the same. You go to the United States, go to England, it's the same. In that it becomes also a national pride. Of course, we have sent out some people to carry out research even on the innocent motor, because we want to talk about it's our history, it's our story. If somebody there is making an effort to promote the Nigerian image in terms of technology, we should be talking about it. It is our history. Let the world know that we still have this possibility. So coming back slowly again, what really is needed? Because we said before that car is actually an assemblage of certain technology, but well packed together with a logic, no? Because there are electronics, there are the technician, that the technical part of it. I don't think it is beyond our possibility. So what do we need?
Let me come in here,
please.
Yes. For instance, we know of Innocent Motors. Are you there?
Of course.
Okay, we know of Innocent Motors. And the leaders, none of them, not even in this regime where we talked about, I know the first campaign of this regime was let's patronize Nigeria for Nigeria, and all those cliche that was it just coming from the lips and not in the heart. Okay, and not even in this administration, not one of the senators nor the lawmakers have innocent. So we are still on the same page. One basic thing, the goodwill. One basic thing, the goodwill. Just the goodwill. Once there is somebody, a leader, a president, someone from the city of power, just one thing, the goodwill. Once you show it, every other thing aligns. Every other thing aligns. And if I'll take you a little down the memory lane, the Ajakuta rolling mill was established for a purpose, but for some reasons, as we speak, it's just there. If we know what it costs to keep buying and buying, we take all of our resources outside of the country just to have a piece of what we can produce locally. Are you with me, sir? We take a huge amount of money, not in naira. In most cases, it is either in dollars, in euro, or what have you, in hard currencies. Okay, just to bring in these stuffs. And it is just the mentality. I think they think They are okay with all the exorbitant charges on custom duties, making life difficult, but they are not looking at the primary things. The primary thing is, if we are producing these things, you won't even make life unbearable. Now, if you import, for instance, a finished good from outside of the country, you have only contributed to their labor force. Because if it is produced here, a lot of people would have been gainfully employed. We have the technical schools all over that is poorly funded, poorly managed. Nothing is coming out of there. It's something that we need to take with seriousness, not with the way it is being going on now. The government is taking it for too much of levity, and we are not taking any, there is no plan to even be serious about it. I'm trying to use my words carefully. I'm trying to select words that I'm not a stammerer. Just trying to.
Well, that is what the politics make people to be, Don't talk about. We are decaying. We are basically decaying because, All right, now I just showed you the picture. I just showed the picture of the car that are made in Nigeria by a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Why are the Nigerian police not using these cars? Why is this car not the one that is used by the Nigerian road safety corps? Why is this car not the one that is used by all the custom officers in Nigeria? What is wrong with this car, technically speaking?
Okay. I know before even the producer will showcase it, a lot of tests on it. I know some few people still makes use of it, not really government officials, but for a particular brand to be generally acceptable in Nigeria, the government must endorse it. How? Like you rightly mentioned, the Nigerian police force, they are not buying it with their money. Otherwise, you will tell me you have a choice. It is the taxpayers' money. So this government is making 500 vehicles of innocent motors available to the Nigerian force. They cannot reject it. They make use of it. They give their report back to the producer. They call the producer, okay, these are the things you need to do, and what have you. They call the Nigerian custom. We are giving 1,000 Jeep to you guys, or what have you, to make. So by the time the government ensure that, okay, this is in circulation, people fall in love. Like in my own company, Toyota is well appreciated because all the government parastatals are using it. All the government parastatals are using it. So mention any government agency that is not using Toyota. I hardly find it. So the basic thing is, again, I will go back to the issue of goodwill. It is all about the goodwill. Once a government shows the goodwill, and they are not showing the goodwill, my dear brother, because of the corruption. So when corruption is tackled, okay, let me hit the nail on the head. This current administration have so much disappointed me, because for 2011, I was running like I was running like a lion campaigning for this government, because then I was with my father in the Lord, still my father in the Lord, Pastor Tunde Bakari, who was the vice president then for the campaign. So I pushed in for the campaign because I saw him as the most qualified candidate, one-time head of state, a disciplinarian, this and that, all the qualities was there. He's the man that doesn't like wastages. He loved this and that. But 2015, the argument became thicker, and I backed down. I backed down because of some basic things I've seen. Okay, by and large, God had put you there, but all of these things, not one. As a matter of fact, the first thing for you to know that the goodwill is not there is to fight against social media presence. So you must do this and that, you must do this. What you enjoyed before coming to power. So not until they take responsibility and say, okay, this is Nigeria of our own. These guys are doing their best. Let us see how we can make the economy conducive. Let us see how we can make life bearable for these people. Let us buy our thing. Let us show. Even if you see them putting on the kind of materials I'm putting on, it is not made in Nigeria. Mr. Obehi, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we are an African country, right? You see them putting on native. It is the natives, I can assure you, that it is not produced here in Nigeria. It is just a recipe that either produced in another country. So, take for instance, how do you defend it when a dean of a particular school is having his children graduating from abroad? How do you justify it? How do you tell when even a government is having his some secret agents all from abroad? Nothing is. The truth is, the goodwill is not there. The goodwill is not there, and that is why every attempt, what they keep on thinking daily, is how to attack your freedom of speech. It's how to attack, we must censor this must be censored. When you have no skeleton in your cupboard, why are you going? I learned recently a particular governor wants a peace match with a celebrity. For what? It is justice that brings about the peace. Yeah? If you like, we won't have a million peace match. It doesn't restore peace. Just let there be justice. Peace will restore back and everywhere will be calm. I was recently attacked by a soldier because while I was trying to carry out my assignment, I was trying to sell to a highest bus driver, trying to introduce a promo to him. And because he has gone, he was just telling me practically to leave. I wasn't talking to him. He was just tormenting me. I looked at him, he has taken away his name. It was only the Nigerian Army badge that is there. So if I looked at him by my little training, the more you keep on talking, thereafter he returned to unknown soldier. So I had to leave. So what are we talking about? So the thing is all about the goodwill. By now, with the way I could beat my chest for this government 2011, I think by now we should have been thinking of Nigeria exporting and everybody doing well. I'm telling you. So we still go back to the issue of goodwill. It is all about the goodwill.
Anyway, I think in fact I would be tempted to even ask you, what was the program of this administration when they were campaigning to become leader in Nigeria?
Hey,
I remember I interview I would say a philosopher, but a political philosopher in Vatican, an African, of course, because here we are concerned about our country, about our continent. We are concerned. Okay, so when I say, but you are there talking, but come on, we need to talk about it. Doesn't matter wherever you are. Okay. This is a responsibility for every one of us. We have a stake in the progress of the nation. So we must speak it wherever we are. All right. Now, he said that politicians basically are contesting to become the cook for the nation. That you say, okay, I'll be the best cook for the nation. So Buhari and his team came to the Nigerian people and said, we are going to be the best cook. We're going to do the best for this country. Fine. So what was their agenda? What was the plan? What did they say they were going to do that made you believe in them?
Well, that made me believe in them. Then that was there. Yeah. Then they talked about crashing, probably creating the balance between Nigerian money and the dollar, the naira and the dollar. Probably trying to make sure that a dollar is equal to a naira and all those beautiful words. I wasn't expecting a magic, truth be told, but at least I was expecting an obvious reduction such that the local producers, the fish farmers can export at will. We can import things. We are not taking a full Ghana must go loaded with naira just to have 100 pieces of American dollars. We are looking at a government who promised us that subsidy would be removed. And I still tell myself, the announcement into February next year, I don't know how many times they will announce it. And this is one beautiful thing. When we talk, let us know that history will always record whatever that is done per time. At a point, we learned that subsidy was to be removed. And that was the basis for the argument. Okay, the crude oil is no longer selling, this and that is no longer working, we are going to do this and that. And it was raised from 97 naira, if I'm not mistaken, down to, it kept on rolling till 167 or 162 so far now. So what is the assurance that if we accept 350, that there won't be another talk? Are you with me, sir? That there won't be another talk thereafter to say, as at that time, now there is now more nations are now getting crude oil, this and that. Our Nigerian oil is now low of standard, this and that. There are always excuses. So by now we expected that the petroleum pump prices should have come to at least 20 naira, 30 naira. That was the argument they had on TVC and other medias. You see them having this, what is it called? Cartoon analysis on TV, this and that. By the time we reach to this thing, it will look like the telecommunication industry when Globacom came on the board. You see other this thing crash down their SIM card cost and what have you. All of this sweet mouth was going. But I discovered recently that when you want power, you can say anything. Our people, you said something at the beginning of the program, that it is all about the people. There is nobody that emerged as a leader today that wasn't one time a follower. So what values are you inculcating in yourself so that when you become a leader, you stand your ground? If when they were followers, it shows what they had. It shows when they were one time head of state. It shows the quality of stuffs that they were made of. So I don't need to dig deep to make any fact findings about you, Mr. Obehi, but from the things you say, from the things you do, I can tell the contents, the pills, the food, the things you have ate and that has polished you to this point. So if this is what they are displaying, they are only exposing all that they took in. It means they weren't as the way we were taking them to be. It means they lied to us. It means they fooled us. It means they deceived us. But take note, we had used them before. We will use them again. There will always be tomorrow. And posterity will always speak. So that is it.
Thank you so much for that. And of course, we are not going to take on those issues like the Nigerian petroleum, which is actually a mirage, no?
Yeah, that's language.
A mirage in the sense that this is a country that pump in a lot of crude oil. Our crude oil have to be refined outside and sent back to the country.
Back to the country.
What are we using to think? Our anus or our brain? Do we even have brains? Like, okay, now we are talking about the automobile. One gentleman in the East, okay, because it's an Igbo person, is that why we don't want the Nigerian police, all the Nigerian police department across all the local government in Nigeria to be using Inosun, so that the world will know that in Nigeria too we can produce car, so that Ghana can also come and import and buy from Nigeria. Who is going to buy Inosun motor if the Nigerian government doesn't buy it? What is the rationale? What is the reason? So that is why I was asking before. Is it because the quality are too poor? Have we tested it?
No. I think I need to break you there, sir. You talked about, is it because he's an Igbo boy? One thing that is very obvious that I think we should push forward as a campaign is that we must see Nigeria as Nigerians. We must see Nigeria as Nigeria. The question of are you from the East, are you from the North, should not be. Do I need to ask who produced the tomato I want to buy in the market? Do I need to ask who produced the whatever it is? So I think it should be a thing of pride that this is coming from us. This eventually is going to pull more resources to the country. This eventually is going to be the pride of Nigeria. Now, when we have a Northerner playing in the field of in the Nigerian football team, by the time a northerner scored a goal. Everybody say, hey, in excitement.
Nigeria.
It is a Nigerian that scored, not so the glory is not to the northerner, the glory is to the entirety of Nigeria. So if a northerner has the ball in his hand and he saw that an Igbo man is well positioned to hit or probably give the right kick, will he now say, no, it must be me? It doesn't work out that way. So there is no nation that is divided against itself that stands. And that is why we still bring it back to goodwill. Let there be a campaign for Nigerians. Let us all know that if Innocent Motors sells all over the world, it is to the pride of Nigerians, not to the Easterners. It is to the Yoruba man should be happy that Innocent is selling, and the Igbo man should be happy that the Yorubas are producing the brains in other departments and what have you. And the Northerners should also be happy and excited that we are doing well.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I really appreciate your zeroing on this point, because it is very important, very, very important. You see, now that we just said that Toyota has been in Nigeria since 1965.
65, yeah.
That is 5 years after Nigeria got independence. Up until date, they are still in Nigeria, supplying cars to Nigeria, supplying cars to the Nigeria police, to the Nigeria custom, and all of that. There is nothing bad about that. The French want to supply cars to Nigeria. That is good. Now, the question is, who is going to buy the Nigeria motor? That is what I'm asking. In Lagos, how many distributors do we have that are selling innocent motors? In Abuja, how many distributors do we have that are selling these motors? Because, I think we should grow beyond this idea that, okay, it's locally made. Sorry, I'm not an Igbo person. I'm not an Igbo person. That is not from the point of view I'm speaking. But I just want to point out something, a disease that we have, all of us. Maybe, for example, you say, na Igbo made. What are you talking about? They used to say the Chinese made. But the Chinese have sent people to the moon with their Chinese made. If we allow the Igbo people, the Igbo will also send somebody to the moon, because what it takes is technology. And of course, I understand that we're going to bring this down under the umbrella of the Nigerian nation. So we need a Nigerian president, a Nigerian leader, who is able to understand that we need Nigerians to develop the Nigerian aeronautic industry. We need Nigeria to develop the Nigerian automobile, to create food. We don't need to import food from Germany or China, because what is happening to our forests in that case?
Now, from what you have said now, sir, for my company, for instance, will not take in, okay, you, for instance, will you sell, you open your shop and this very product is not in demand? Are you going to tie down your money, okay, just because you want to push it to the market? And I thank God you said it, that our leaders need to show this concern. Now, if it started with all the government parastatals like the Nigerian police force, the custom, the medical sectors and the likes, having these innocent vehicles like 500 or 1,000 all across the states and the likes, that by the time I see it flying my road, one, there will be need for spare parts. There will be need for service engineers, people who will go and learn about the engines of innocent. So by so doing, we have people getting skills to know how to tackle innocent vehicles when they break down. By so doing, you are expounding and bringing innocent to the knowledge of people. But when the government is not showing the interest, it is what we see, it is what people see daily that they begin to analyze. It is what they see on daily basis. Okay, I think I love that. The latest Lexus is very good. Okay, can we have the features? Then the safety department will highlight the features. This is this thing. Okay, this is the specs that moves and like that. So when we have innocence like that, then we begin to analyze it. Okay, the police officer, the DPO using innocent will tell his younger brother, wow, I've been using it for a while. It is good. Only for, okay, it is good. And after some few 10 years, 15 years down the lane, it gets better and better. So that is how it can spread. That is how no businessman will tie down his money for what is not selling, for what even the government that you are trying to be of advantage, or probably you are trying to push, is not seeing it in that way. You won't tie your hard-earned money, even in an economy that is a lot of people on different uniform coming after you, coughing out money even when you are not seeing the effect out there. The road is still the way it is, and yet you see somebody who does not have a pure water factory demanding from you like he had ever succeeded in running a pure water factory of 10 or 2-3 manpowers. So these are the issues. These are the issues.
All right. Thank you for that. You know, the point really is that, well, you are a sales expert. You understand that we're talking of marketing here.
Marketing, yes.
You don't, because that is why we are saying it is the government that have the power to be able to do the marketing of her product. Nigeria is selling oil. They know how to market it. Of course, they know how to go to all the international trade agency to market the Nigerian oil, because that is where they are going to get the money. Fine. But the Nigerian citizens also need the possibility to market what they are producing. We don't only have crude oil, we have gold. Okay, let people forget that Nigeria even have natural resources. We're not even going to go there. What about agriculture? What about our cassava? What about our yams, our cocoa? Who is going to market this one? An individual businessman. Okay, maybe you are as rich as Dangote, then you'll be able to organize international symposium to talk about your product. But as long as you are not as rich, as wealthy, as known as that, you need the help of the Nigerian foreign agency to market this product, because this is the way we'll be able to give job to the Nigerian people. This is what we are essentially talking about. Because when you sell Toyota, you sell Japanese product, American product, General Motors product in Nigeria, you are giving job to the Japanese, to the American people. Who is giving job to the Nigerian people? Tomorrow, maybe the federal government of Nigeria will say Nigerians are lazy. That is why they are running away from the country. Do you even think of what you are talking about? Okay, now you see. All right, sorry that I'm a little bit. My temperature is getting high now, because this is the way it is. This is the country that we have. All right. You see, in 1999, when Obasanjo came in as the president of the country, just coming out from the military dictatorship for a very long period, I usually make this analysis so that people can understand that we are not stupid. We, the Nigerian people, already knew what our problem was, like light, good road. Now, Obasanjo to Goodluck to Buhari. Okay, let's forget even the one that was there before, Yar'Adua, now to Buhari, who, of course, I have time to stay there for a long time. What has been their plan to resolve those two issues, light and good road? What has been their plan? In the time of Goodluck that was there for a very short period of time, okay, I understand that Obasanjo at the time was trying to sort of remake the Nigerian image at international affair and all that. Okay, he could have done a very good job there, though the home policy, there was some kind of error and a lot of issues there. Then Goodluck came in, then all the Nigerian media was about the life and death of Yar'Adua. Then in the regime of Goodluck, that was when we were blessed with the almighty Boko Haram. Then Buhari said he was going to resolve the Boko Haram. Now, if you look at this analogy very well, you will see that all this administration have not looked at the real issue, the real problems of the Nigerian people, because none of them have actually decided to resolve the problem, which I have just made mention of, light and good road. So we need to be sincere with ourselves. When you say you are a leader of a people, what do you really want to do for them? Now, the next election that we are having, what is the plan? What do they really want to do?
With due respect, are you looking at elections 2023?
Yes, somehow. What do we have to look
at? For me, I'm just looking at selection. It is selection, because this is just the truth. This is the truth of the matter. An average African man likes bossing over its fellow Africans. We don't have this heart of making life easy for others. I don't know if it is demonic. I don't know what or who we have offended. For someone like Buhari, who shed tears in 2011, that he couldn't, that if he was given the opportunity, eventually you got there. One of the things that was sold to you and I then was that his children are schooling here in Nigeria. One of the things that was sold to us then was that his bank account is less than $1 million or thereabouts. One of the things that was sold to us then was that he was living in a house, a mud house and stuff like that. Everything he does is in Nigeria. Only for us to discover thereafter that it was a lie. Shortly after he became a president, his children graduated from abroad. They didn't get it wasn't the 2 years course, except if otherwise. The media is there to confirm that. It wasn't a 2 years course. So when things like this is going on, how then do you think now talking about the light and the road? For me, someone was saying that because I go to a popular church at Ota. The road there is begging for help every day. Now, every attempt for the Ota Road, Idiroko Road, to be fixed, there will always be, imagine I want to help you. You want me to pay you before helping you. I want to tar the road. Then you want me to pay you. In fact, what I'm going to pay you is going to be times 3. Or let me cut it short, times 2, or equal amount of what I'm going to use to do was to fix the road. Of what sense does that speak? Then after that, I told a friend that, look, this thing will be hard to fix. He said, why? I said, because they will always have a campaign agenda. What you will see is that they will just come with some trucks of granite and the likes just to tip you that, look, we are on the way. Nothing. I want to beg you. I want to beg you for this. I think the education should be for the followers. The Nigerian leadership should be Nigerian followers. We should take the education beyond the leaders. Let us talk about the followers, because either we like it or not, these people are going to face out. Then the people coming in is the problem. If we don't take, we started this interview with what were the things that encourage you to live life differently. And I told you some few things that how my journey began. If we don't choose to live differently, we'll keep on recycling the old system. Somebody had to stand up. I was telling someone, I said, look, write it down on this program, sir. Write it down that Obadaki said this, that one of those that will bring sanity to this government is the children of those that bastardize and destroy this government. Because God will not allow your own children to come and pay the price of the things that he knows nothing about. Now, one of them, they train their children abroad, right? They will return one day and face their father. Daddy, wait, you said you were a president for how many years? What cost you to fix this road? Let me see. Some of them, their children will come and point a gun on their head and waste them, because they will so much have good names abroad, but they cannot come home. They are having names all over, but one of them will wake up one day and say, Daddy, you misrepresented our family, and they decide to waste them. I am telling you, I don't want to go a little scriptural, but this is one thing I have seen. Let those who are doing the right thing keep it up. There is always a payday for everything. I can't believe that this administration what they do with the light is they look at a particular area, you use light for like 4 or 5 bulbs, they switch it so the distribution is what they are working on. This area we use for a little while. So while you are using, they now open up a channel, you start, this administration is doing well, you vote for them, they are doing well. Before you know, after a little while, like 2-3 months, you started having issues with NEPA again, or PAC, and whatever the name is. Then the next thing is, it is shifted to another area to use for a little while. Why are we fooling ourselves? Why are we fooling ourselves? The truth of the matter is the goodwill. Once we show the goodwill that I will leave it the way I met it, there must be something to be said about me. No matter how bad we want to debate against Obasanjo, he gave us this telecommunication. Do something. Buhari needs to do something that after which he leave office, we should, it is not the ministers coming to say, Femi Adesina fronting for him. I should be able to know that this man has done something to me. I should be able to know. It is not the senators, I don't want to use some language here. You don't rubber stamp things. Just, I should be able to know. Now, how can the court hearing of most of the agitators should be private at this age, after many years of independence? Come on, make these things public. Why are you hiding? Why are you hiding? Make all these persecutions, make it public. So people will know the gravity of going against the law. People will know, okay, this is their boundaries. Why are you making it hidden?
Because they have something to hide. Because if maybe, for example, Buhari, when he was coming in as a president, meaning campaigning to become a president, he was telling the Nigerian people, you see, this country is having insecurity, because we can even say that because the president there, Goodluck Jonathan, is not a former military. So maybe, let's say he doesn't understand it, even though actually, as a commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria, you are not supposed to be an expert of security, because that is why you have people that are working under you in this area. So that is what he said. But if after 8 years you are going, your Boko Haram is still there, I want to know how you want to go to bed to tell your family, we have succeeded.
You know, the funniest thing is a common language by this administration is that I am not aware. I am not aware. It's a language that shouldn't come from a leader. And the funniest thing is when we are being called into the international forum, we start to speak what we can't even feel here. We start to feel like, is my father lying? Is my father lying against me? Will I have a good meal and I will not know? Will I have a good road and I will not know? Will my father have a good plan for me and I will not know? We appear to claim that we are giants of Africa, but we are not giants of a local government. As we speak, an average Nigerian is a local government on its own. Ask me how. You provide light for yourself, you dug your borehole for yourself, you provide security for yourself, you do virtually everything that your taxpayers' money is supposed to do for you. You understand? While I was still doing, running my NGO, I do call some youth who just get a wheelbarrow, fill some sacks and put on the street just to cover some certain things. I know nobody will hold me for that. Okay, for 2015, the fear was too much there that I had to call on SP Chuks Eburuaja. He's still there, he's an SP in the police at this thing. We had to write so we could have a peace walk on the street just to ensure, aside from that, we had a prayer march, just to ensure that nothing happens to this country. But somebody somewhere is just thinking that we should pocket this country. I think that is just the whole ideology. It's not that they are not thinking. They know what is right for us. They know that some Nigerians can barely feed. Barely feed. We have a lot of them there. Okay, what happiness do you have when you look out there and you see graduates riding Okada? In fact, you see some graduates running for Marua in the morning just to get 40,000 naira per month. Okay, and yet in that 40,000 naira, you are promising that you give us 5,000 naira by the time you succeeded in putting petroleum pump price at 3 something. What are we saying? Isn't that these people are not thinking, or there is a demon that is speaking through them? I seriously don't understand. But it is well. You will still see that we come back to the same point, the goodwill.
All right. Now, moving towards the end of the podcast, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
I want to say that I really look up to the time that, it's not that I'm not a brother of Inosu, I just
You don't have to be.
I just love the good work that this guy is doing.
You are saying you are speaking the right thing. You don't have to be. I am not an innocent. Okay, let me tell you a story of my friend. A friend who is into a farming business, who had been having it so tough just to export his farm produce. Why? Because a lot of illegality is contending with his legal business. And this is a brother doing everything, trying to meet with all the government agencies to get his certification done. But you just see somebody. I did okay, I will say this openly. I did a driver's license, or I renewed a driver's license, and right there, they created an offering department, a system whereby the photocopy, the booklet to be filled, they are the one to fill it. They are the one to provide the booklet rather. For me to fill, I had to go and do a photocopy. It is not about the money. 15 naira photocopy, it is not about the money. Why must I go and do? So you should have announced it earlier so that I can bring an A4 paper from my office. And it doesn't make any sense. These are intentional. After that, you have to go and do some lamination. And after that, you have to go and get the Lagos State driver's license. Now, what is the difference between the federal driver's license and the Lagos State? Now, that of the, oh God, it's just a department that, look, 3,000 naira for last degree for Lagos State driver's license, just per annum. So for the 5 years, you are going to have like 15,000 naira. That is if the price remains 3,000 for that 5 years. Why are we making life unbearable for people? Why do we Africans like dominating and just taking, I better pass my neighbor, I must be better off than you? Why can't we have an egalitarian society where it is all about making life easy for people? It is just well. It is just well. We'll get there. I know we'll get there.
All right. Thank you for at least having the hope. That is having the candle. I would need to let the candle burn so that people can see it. I believe it too. I believe that this country can get better.
There is no doubt about it. We'll get there. At worst is whoever is against the land will be swallowed by the land. That is just it. We'll definitely get there.
Thank you for that. All right. Now, tell me, in terms of strategy, how can what do you think we can do as a people? By this, I mean our engineer, our expert, because I repeat again, we are not just stupid people. Nigerians are not just foolish. It's just that what we have contending with us is really big. But also on the level of individual, because I don't want to go into history again. Some of the best designer of cars in the United States are also from Nigeria. Sport cars, of different kind of cars also. You see, the creation of Inosu Motors is not the first time in Nigeria. I think the first car in Nigeria was called NZ600. Okay, I'm not even going to go there again now. What I just want people to know is that in Nigeria, people have the brain. People have the power, the physical power, and also the mental power to be able to do something. I think that we are selling this power to the government, thinking that they will do it. For this, we need to. What is really? Why are we? Why is our hand tied this much?
Let me quickly help out here. I think the first thing first is an average Nigerian have been tied down with religious mentality. Okay, most of us prefer to pray around the clock than being involved in politics. Okay, whatever, most of the things we pray for in church, in our religious, in mosque or what have you, will be a prayer answer if the right policy is put in place. Okay, and talk about our technicians and the likes of them. One thing is you need to believe in yourself, stand out, or regardless of what is contending against you. The truth is there will be a condition one day that will suit you. And that is why I'm still giving it up I'm giving this thumbs up for Innocent. Let them keep it up. One day there will be a government that will be so sensitive and responsive. Say, look, it is high time we share this market and give this man a chance. And not only him, there are other people too in other sectors that are doing fantastically well. Enough of monopolizing most of our sectors. Okay, you are talking about innocent. Is it a crime that by now we have a bag of cement for 1,000 naira? Is it a bad idea that by now we have our, between the last administration and this current administration, currently a bag of cement, I don't know if I'm correct, is ranging up to 5,000 naira. So what are we saying? So let us keep this positive mindedness. Let us, the right thinking Nigerians, the very few ones should still keep hope alive, do the right thing. There is a God that pays for every effort. So let us keep the right mindset, join politics. Join, yes, we need to pray, but while we pray, the scripture says we should watch and pray. Part of the watching is being part, okay, taking active part in politics. Somebody will tell me they will buy votes, voting doesn't count. It's a pure lie. If it doesn't count, then there won't be vote buying. There won't be, you won't see somebody that will say, okay, come to the polling booth and take 1 naira, 2 naira. It counts. It is the absence of you and I at the polling booth that gives access for them to manipulate. Now, this is one thing. Those who vote in Nigeria are primarily the people we take for granted. The bus conductors, the whatever, you take them for granted, but they are the one dictating the future of the grammarians. Those you see that call on radio stations, ask them, they don't have voters card. They don't have voters card. When it is time for election, they run to a hotel with a maximum security. And after the election, you see them speaking grammars. The truth is, let us come out. Again, I will tell us, permit me to say this on air, that much as Fela Brote is very, I am privileged to be close to him, most of the young presidential contestants should not wait when it is time for election. Let us consciously, I know he's doing his best in the areas of manpower development, youth involvement, but the best he's doing, there is a very minute level of poisoning that is not making the best seen. The youth he's encouraging, the youth is doing all of this for. I trust God, he's doing very well. But by the time they get home, they go through the toughness of the street, they get home. Their bills and everything is there. The new increments on fuel and everything is there. But they want to see you marching on the street. They want to see you. I so much respect him. Again, I'm mentioning his name clear without Fela Brote, with due respect, sir. I love and I still honor you. I love him when there were issues for consensus. He said, look, I will give it up to this man currently in Abuja, Sowore. You know, this is the man we kept on seeing. You can be a pastor, I don't care. You can even be my pastor, I don't care. You don't wait when election is 6 months and I start hearing your voice. What happened to all the illegality while they have been there? You are running from being jailed. You are running from being receiving tear gas. Whatever Sowore has done, I think it's just the street wisdom that is needed to remain in the faces of the people. You can see the passion for almost 2 years, if not more than 2 years. He's been within Abuja. Even his younger brother died. Couldn't go there. Couldn't go for his younger brother's burial. These are the things. You must be dying daily for what you want. Everybody loves Mandela, but are we ready to go in for what Mandela went through? So these are the truth. So we have people following us. So if all we keep on saying, speaking is grammar, we'll keep on recycling the same thing. Let us go to the polling booth. Let us all be registered. You cannot push. It is in the days of social media. Let your gadget be on. There are a lot of gadgets that record without, just ensure that you are connected to some friends who can watch your back. Be there in a civil manner. Ensure that you cast your vote. Let them push you. Let them do whatever. Your friends and your colleagues, your parents, they are watching, they are recording. It's on live. Let it be done. And that is why the EndSARS had been so hard for them to upturn, because of the social media. So let us take advantage of our strength. Enough of speaking grammars. It is all about the followers. We can actually get, or we will definitely get there. But the speed at which we will get there is dependent on the followers. You and I and the younger folks out there should always keep the positive mindset, do the right thing, and we'll get them out of the seat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is really very, very important. All right. We have spent nearly 2 hours here. And as you would have seen now, we don't come to the end usually. We just say we suspend till next time because we are continuing the conversation. No?
Thank you so
All right.
much. Thank
Now,
you so much.
what would be your conclusion of this conversation? Because it has really been very rich on my end. Conclude it in your own best way.
Okay. In conclusion, we need to give Nigerians the chance, okay, to do and showcase that which we know how to do. We need to give room for equality. I'm not saying that we shouldn't give the foreign business people the chance, but let there be an equal level play field for everyone to showcase what they have. Enough of saying this is from the north, this person is from the south, because it is not for me, it is not acceptable. We should find a balance and the right policy. Now, this is to our leaders. Let there be a goodwill. It is not enough to come before the press and have a pre-interview that you've already settled before coming out and just bamboozle us. No, let us see that you are walking the talk, that every day we are getting better. We are not taking the last year, what is it called? The last year manifesto for this year. No, the same manifesto for the past 10 years. We keep on repeating. No, let us do something new. Ensure that you know that by next election, something will be said about you. There will be a review. History will talk about you. How would you like to be rated? How would you like to be qualified? Let this be the language, or probably the things, okay, beating in our heart concerning our future. And for the young ones out there, please and please avoid drugs. Ensure that you choose your friends. Ensure that you go out for personal development. Ensure that you are getting better. It is not about Nigeria alone, the whole world. There is nobody that can fix the world for you. It is you that will fix your own world in your own little space, doing what is needed per time, and you will keep on getting better. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It'll be an honor here, hearing you and preferring solution also to the common problem that we have as a people. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you.
If you enjoy this podcast, make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. I remain Obehi Ewanfo. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you in the next episode.